Hi everyone, welcome back to our Python 2D game development course. We are in week 4 of the Python Basics module, and this is lesson 11. I'm Carmen Jacobs from Camp 180. In our last lesson, we learned how to use for loops to repeat actions a set number of times. You practice using range with start, stop, and step values, and even created a small game-style loop. Today we're going to expand on that by learning about while loops and how to control them with break and continue. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to write loops that repeat as long as a condition is true. You'll know how to skip or exit parts of the loop when you need to. So why does while loops matter? In real life, we often repeat actions until something changes. Keep walking until you reach the door. Keep eating until you're full. Keep playing until your health drops to 0. That's exactly what while loops do in a code. Instead of running a fixed number of times, they run as long as a condition is true. This makes them very powerful in games and simulations, when the number of repetitions isn't always known in advance. Here's an example of a basic while loop. Create a file called while_examples.py and type count equals 1. While count is less or equal to 5, print count is count. Then count plus equal to 1. Here, while starts the loop. Count less than or equal to 5 is the condition. As long as this condition is true, the loop runs. Inside the loop, we print the value and then update the count by 1. Once count becomes 6, the condition is false and the loop ends. The output would read something like count is 1, count is 2, up until it reaches 5. At 6, the condition is no longer true and the loop stops. Unlike for loops, while loops don't automatically stop. If you forget to update the condition, the loop can run forever. In the previous example, remove the line count equals plus 1. That means we are not increasing our counts inside the loop, and count is always 1. Thus, count will always be less than 5. If we run this now, count is always 1, and the loop will go on forever and ever and never stop. So how to stop this infinite loop? On your keyboard, click Ctrl+C. That would stop the loop. Or if you're working on a Mac, Command+C. And this is where the break function comes in. So the break allows us to exit the loop early. Let's look at a simple example. In your file, type count equals 1, while true. Print count is count. If count is equal to 3, break. Then count plus equal 1. So what does this mean? The line count equals 1 means we're starting our counter at 1, like starting a game at level 1. Next, while true means keep doing this forever. It's like an endless loop that never stops, unless we use something special, like break, to tell it to stop. Inside the loop, we print count is count. So each time the loop runs, it shows us the number we're on. Here comes the important part. If count equals 3, break. This means if the count reaches 3, break. You are essentially telling the computer, okay computer, that's enough. You can stop looping now. And finally, we have count plus equal 1, which means add 1 to count. So the loop prints count is 1, count is 2, count is 3, and then it breaks. So count is 3 is where the loop stops. This is how we can escape an endless loop safely, like a secret exit door. The loop would normally run forever, but break lets us exit when count reaches 3. Now let's look at the continue keyword. This allows us to skip an iteration. So instead of jumping out of the loop completely, it just skips one iteration and continues the loop at the next point. So sometimes you want to skip one cycle of the loop but keep going with the rest. Continue is like telling the computer skip this part and jump to the next round of the loop. Let's look at the following example. Start with count equals 0. Next we have while count is less than 5. This means keep looping as long as count is less than 5. So the loop will run until count reaches 5. Now inside the loop we do count plus equal 1. That means add 1 to count each time the loop goes around. Then we check if count equals 3. That means if the number is 3. And if it is, continue. Continue tells the loop, skip everything else and go straight to the next cycle. So when count becomes 3, the computer does not print anything. It jumps to the next round. Finally, we have print count is count. But remember, this only runs if continue did not activate. So the loop prints count 1, count 2, count 4, count 5. Notice how 3 is missing in the output? The continue statement skipped that iteration. Continue is like saying, I don't want to stop the whole loop. I just want to skip this one turn. Now let's apply all our knowledge to a game idea. In your file, type health equals 10. While health is greater or equal to 0, print player health, health. Then update your health by subtracting 2 from your health in each turn. If health is equal to 4, print skipping this turn. Continue. And then if health is equal to 0, print game over. This loop keeps reducing the player's health until it reaches 0. And along the way it demonstrates how continue and break can add flexibility to the game flow. Try this quick experiment. Number is equal to integer input, enter a number. While number is not equal to 0, print you entered number. Then number, integer input, enter another number, 0 to stop. Print loop finished. This keeps running until you type 0. That's how while loops let your program keep going until the user decides to stop. Now for fun, change your while loop to number not equal to any integer you choose. Then in your second number input, you put that number to stop. And then play around until your loop stops. Now that we have learned all of this, here is your homework assignment for lesson 11. Create a file called while_practice.py. 1. Ask the user for a starting number. Use a while loop to count down to 0. On each loop, print the current value of the counter in the format. Count is number. Print blast off when finished. Add break so the loop will stop early if the number goes below 3, and print stopped early when number equals 3. Add continue so the loop skips printing when the number is exactly 5. As an optional challenge, write a number guessing game where the player keeps guessing until they get the right number. Use while, break, and continue. Don't forget to write in your coding journal. Did you make an infinite loop? How did you fix it? How did you use break and continue? What worked and what didn't? There's a step-by-step written guide for this lesson available on Gumroad. You'll also find the complete Python Basics package there with videos, walkthroughs, exercises, cheat sheets, and more, covering lessons 1 to 12. I highly encourage you to do the tutorial for this lesson. Practicing is the best way to really understand while loops. Today you learned how while loops can repeat actions until a condition changes. You also learned how to control the flow of loops using break to exit early and continue to skip over parts. These tools are essential for writing flexible interactive programs. In the next lesson, lesson 12, we'll introduce functions. Functions let you reuse code by packaging actions into blocks that you can call whenever you need them. They are a huge step towards writing cleaner, more powerful programs. Thanks for learning with me, and I'll see you in Lesson 12.